Before D-Day, the 9th Allied Tactical Air Force flew about 4,000 to 5,000 direct ground support sorties, clearing countryside of France to seal off the beaches at Normandy. After 3rd Army broke out of the Bocage Company behind the Normandy beaches and went running across France with George Patton out front, they flew 1,500 to 2,000 direct support CAS sorties every day. This is a P-47 CAS mission. This is the result. This is in Germany in World War II. We've been doing CAS a long time. My dad flew it in the P-40 and the P-47. Friends of his flew it in the P-51D. Other friends flew it in the A-1 and the F-80 in Korea. They flew it in the A-7. He flew it in the F-4 again. And then we've got the great A-10 community, F-16s, F-15Es, B-1s, AC-130s, MQ-1s, MQ-9s, B-52s occasionally. They've all flown CAS. Because we always fly it when we need to fly it. That's not going to change. For the last 7 years, we've averaged 20,000 CAS sorties a year. At what point do we get a little bit of acknowledgement for that? We don't care about CAS? Slide, please. Somebody said that to me directly not too long ago, and luckily I had my phone and had the self-control to pull it out and flip to this picture. This is my son, Matt. He's a Marine Corps infantry officer. I don't care about close air support. Luckily, I'm old and respectful now. And I told him that and said, look, you just better be glad that Matt isn't here, because Matt is young and impetuous and he's tough as hell, and he would kick your ass. Because he's even tired of hearing it. Next slide. We got a new airplane too. We're going to teach it how to do CAS. I'm not going to talk about it. Let Bluto tell you about what we're doing. Next slide, please.
I'm Bluto Sabin. I'm a weapons officer and F-35 operational test pilot at Edwards Air Force Base, California. I grew up flying the A-10 Warthog and transitioned to the F-35 last summer. Throughout my career, I've been heavily vested in the Close Air Support, or CAS, mission set. CAS is air action against hostile targets that are in close proximity to friendly forces. And the #1 priority for close air support is the troops on the ground who are out there raiding houses or fighting in the trenches across from the enemy. It is my job to make sure that I do everything I can to protect them, kill targets, and then survive to do the job the very next day. I developed my CAS mission mindset during my time in the A-10, and it is directly transferable to the F-35. Now, obviously, the A-10 and the F-35 are different. As we march towards initial operational capability in the F-35, we are diligently mapping what the F-35 can do well, especially in the CAS mission set. It has many mission sets, CAS included. It is my job to make sure that the F-35 is ready to deploy, regardless of the mission set it is called to do. And I can guarantee you that it will be ready to go.
Bluto is CAS. You could put him in a Volkswagen Beetle and he'd be there helping you, DeLorean. You know it. CAS is a mission. We will continue to excel at it. We will continue to provide it whenever and wherever needed with whatever we have available to us. Next slide. Got into this discussion here lately too. Really? Somebody want to debate this with facts? I'll let Rash talk about this one. Next slide. And run the video, please. Thank you.
My name is Captain Brent Carroll, and I'm an F-35 instructor in the 16th Weapons Squadron, United States Air Force Weapons School. We're currently in operational testing phase for the F-35, developing within visual range tactics, and so far we're pleased with the air-to-air combat capabilities. The combination of sensors and handling characteristics are like nothing we've ever flown with or against. It provides better situational awareness than 4th-gen fighters, and it does so significantly earlier. The pilot has the tactical information available well before the adversary, providing an opportunity to shape an air-to-air merge and kill from a position of advantage. This increased awareness and early decision-making are fundamental to success in air combat. Our priority is giving pilots tactics that maximize lethality of the F-35, and we plan to do that over the next year as we work towards initial operational capability.
We got to make sure that we don't get distracted by silly discussions here. This airplane is going to be a great airplane. It's already performing well in some areas. It's not supposed to be doing everything yet. We're still short on the software loads. We don't reach full operational capability until 2021. So anybody who says, well, it's not ready to do everything next week, well, no kidding. That's not the plan. So let's not let ourselves get distracted by it. Let's not start too much of an internal debate unless you have the facts right. If you do, let's talk. Everybody's voice is welcome. But let's make sure it's an informed voice, folks. It's really important. There's a lot of people trying to keep things moving on programs like this, and they get distracted every time some argument comes up that doesn't have facts behind it, and we spend days, even weeks, trying to make sure we correct the record and get things straight, answer all the questions, and we got a lot of work to do.